Good morning, student. Yesterday we have discussed some what is the meaning of constitution and law, and today we will discuss what are the rights and what kind of rights are given in your Indian constitution. So before discussing that, we all know what is a constitution. It is a legal document and it is in written form. So what do you mean by rights? Rights simply means hak. What are the hak been given to various not all citizens of India. So there can be a different type of rights. There can be social rights, there can be a political right, there can be a economical right. And what do you mean by social right? Social right means that every citizen of India deserves the social respect. There should be a no social discrimination, so he has their social respect. So he have right for for having a social respect in the society. He should not face any kind of discrimination. Before India got independence, there was a certain section of Indian society which were not given a same respect. They were being discriminated just because they were born in some a particular caste or in some other any religion. So they also deserve social rights. And what do you mean by economical right? Economical right means they should have right to earn money. They all have right to have a decent income. They all should have right to start their own business. So this kind of rights comes under the economical right. And what do you mean by political right? Political right means that every person have the right to take part in this political development of country. Everyone have the right to take part in contest election. Every person have right to vote in this country. So these all rights come under different category, but these are rights, and rights are given in Indian constitution. What do you mean? The rights which are being recognized by constitution, they are called fundamental right. And what do you mean by fundamental right? The word fundamental means that they are very important. They are fundamental for the overall development of human beings. For example, this room, if this room is made of bricks, we cannot consider a room without a bricks, because brick is very important for the making of room. So like I am teaching you, and this whiteboard is a very important. Without whiteboard I will be not able to teach you. So fundamental rights are so fundamental that without giving these fundamental rights to them, human beings can live, but this is not a worth life. So fundamental rights are very important, and they are directly recognized by constitution. So they are enforced by constitution. And what do you mean by ordinary rights? Ordinary rights, they are recognized by ordinary law. They are not recognized by constitution. And previously we have seen that constitution is supreme law. And moreover, parliament or central government can remove or add any fundamental right. Before adding and removing any fundamental right, they have to bring a law, they have to bring a bill, in a parliament. So by amending constitution, they can only remove or add a fundamental right. But this is not for the ordinary rights. They can be removed or they can be add ordinary right by simple majority. For reducing or addition of fundamental right can only be made by government by bringing a constitutional amendment bill, and which is very difficult to pass. So this is the importance of these fundamental rights which are being recognized by constitution. And after that we can say that there is one important point in this, that state governments, they cannot reduce or add fundamental right into Indian constitution, because constitution related bills can only be introduced by central government in Indian parliament. State legislative assembly have no power to bring a constitutional amendment bill in their constituent assembly. It is a power of central government to amend means change the Indian constitution. So we can say that central government has more power in this particular area. And after that we can say that constitution ensure that there is no violation of this fundamental right. For example, there is an article, just like a book contains number of pages, constitution also has number of articles, and each article talks about its own importance. For example, in this there is a industry which is very near to this school, and that industry emits very harmful emissions, and that harmful gases emission comes into the school premises, and the student of the school inhale that harmful gases which may be very detrimental to their health. And do you think that there is a violation of their fundamental right? Because article 21 of Indian constitution say that everyone have a right of life. And do you think that by inhaling that harmful gases, there is no danger to their human life, there is a danger to the life of that student. So now that student will move to a judiciary judge, and after examining, judge will say that there is a grave violation of fundamental right under article 21, that is right to life, because that industry emits very harmful gases and that comes into the premises of the school, and by inhaling those harmful gases there is danger to that schools, students of that school. So judiciary will order central government to shut down that industry. So in this way, constitution ensures that our fundamental rights should not get violated. So because they are very important, so they should not be violated. Next, fundamental right can be changed by amending the constitution itself. Simply, if government want to change, if government want to add some more fundamental right into Indian constitution, they can do with the procedure which is been established by law. They will bring a bill into Indian constitution, and after discussing that bill, after passing that bill with special majority, then only the fundamental right can be amended, can be changed. It is not by simple majority. So this also shows the importance of the fundamental right. Ordinary rights are protected and enforced by ordinary law. Okay, there are number of ordinary law also, but that are not, they are ordinary because they are आम. जो आम बिल हैं उनको बोलते हैं आम बिल. जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल बिल है, जो कि एक सुप्रीम लॉ है कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन, उसको बोलते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ. एंड फंडामेंटल राइट्स हैं जो वो रिकॉग्नाइज किए जाते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल लॉ से. जो आम राइट हैं, ऑर्डनरी राइट्स हैं, उसको प्रोटेक्ट एंड इन्फोर्स किया जाता है एक आम बिल से. सो फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर नॉट एब्सोल्यूट और अनलिमिटेड राइट. दिस इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. Now there is a fundamental right. Every person has been given right of speech and expression, but that does not mean that any person has been given right to speak anything. So your fundamental rights are always subjected to some limitations. For example, if there is one person who is giving a hate speech, who is been speaking like that, वो ऐसे बोल रहा है कि हिंदू मुसलमान लड़ जाएं. सो बट वो ऐसे बोले कि मुझे तो राइट मिला हुआ, मैं कुछ भी बोलूँ. नो, यू आर नॉट गिवन राइट बियॉन्ड, देयर इज सर्टन लिमिटेशंस, दे आर सब्जेक्टेड टू सम सर्टन लिमिटेशन. सो व्हेन आवर फंडामेंटल राइट्स आर गिवन, दे आर सब्जेक्टेड टू सम लिमिटेशंस. सो they are not absolute in nature or they are not unlimited. They are always subjected to some limitations. For example, as I have already told you that a book contains number of pages. In similar way, constitution has also number of articles, and each articles have their own importance. For example, article 12 to article 35 of Indian constitution, they speaks about your fundamental rights, and article 14 to article 18 it specifically speaks of right to equality, समानता. इक्वालिटी को हम बोलते हैं समानता. देश आज़ाद होने से पहले देयर वाज नो इक्वालिटी, देयर वाज अ सोशल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन ऑन वेरी लार्ज स्केल. For example, certain section of Indian society were not allowed to enter in temples, they were not allowed to use public roads, even though it is for public, but they were not given right to use them. So to end all this kind of social injustice, constitution makers added article 14. In article 14 they clearly mention that there should be equality before law. Now कोई भी कानून, अगर कोई भी कानून बनता है तो वो सभी के लिए बराबर है. There is nothing like that. If a government has came up with one law and they say that this law will be applied only to that particular section of Indian society, no. Now law is applicable to all. Now article 15 we have discussed before, article 14 that is equality before law, and now there is article 15 which says that there should be a no discrimination based on just caste, color, creed, religion, etc. So article 15 says that there should be no discrimination. By meaning of word discrimination we say that भेदभाव किसी के साथ नहीं होगा अब, just on the ground of for example there are 40 students in this class, and I say that these 10 students should not come to my class because they belong to certain caste or certain religion, or they are coming from certain backward section of Indian society, and I'm saying that being a government teacher I will not teach them. If I say like that, then I am not legally I am doing something wrong, and I will be held guilty for that. So to end discrimination, government has bring this article 15, and now public roads, anything which is public, this been open for all. Any person who is belonging to any caste, any religion, whether she is a female or male, he is been given power to use that public roads, to have access to of that public road, or we can say that So they have been given the, so there is basically article 15 talks about ending of discrimination, which has been practiced for long in our Indian society. For example, women were not allowed to move outside of their house and etc. To basically end this type of discrimination, bhedbhav, article 15 was inserted into the Indian constitution. And next is article 16, which talks about equal opportunity in public employment. We can say that, for example, if there is any form of government exam and all are given equal opportunity to fill that form. It is not like that for certain peoples the deadline for filling that exam is on 2 March, or they have been given they are given more time. It is nothing like that. All have given equal opportunity. अगर कोई भी पेपर देने जा रहा है तो उसका सभी का, अगर पेपर 2 घंटे में हो रहा है तो सभी का 2 घंटे में होगा. ऐसा नहीं है कि किसी को 4 घंटे दे दोगे आप पेपर देने के लिए. सो बेसिकली टू give equal opportunity in public employment, article 16 says about of giving all Indian citizen equal opportunity. And then article 17 talks about abolition of untouchability. And what do you mean by untouchability? In untouchability means utshat, there were practices which been practiced in ancient and medieval India, that certain section of society were not be touched. It was considered a offense. It is been considered to be offense that if we touch that person. To end this type of practices, article 70 was been added. Now if anyone is doing such kind of activity, he will be held guilty. Then article 18, it talks about abolition of titles. And what do you mean by abolition of titles? By meaning of abolition of title, article 18 says that state cannot give any title to any person except military or academic. If person in academic, we can say that there are various title which has been given by state to another, we can say any person who has been excellent in his academic, or he have been given service, military service to this nation. They can give this type of titles, but they cannot give other than this type of titles. For example, earlier there were a title been given to king. Now these titles are not given. So article 18 talks about abolition of such titles except military and academic. Government can give academic and military title only. So to bring equality in society. So next is, first of all, tell about what do you mean by reservation. By reservation means that certain section of society, certain caste, women or physically handicapped person are given more opportunity related to another people. Let's say journal, they are being given extra. It is an affirmative action of central government or state government to give them extra opportunity, or they can get job by scoring less marks compared to journals. So we can say that reservation policy is a violation of right to equality. We can say that equality means to bring equality in society, but by giving certain opportunities to certain section of Indian society like SC and ST, women's. Then how government is saying that they are bringing equality in Indian society? Government has justified this action, this move, by saying that there is a discrimination. There was a discrimination for thousands of years with certain section of society like Dalits, Adivasi and women. They have to be given some more opportunity so that they can actively and they can take part actively in the political development of this country. So this is a justified. Suppose I will give you example of reservation policy. Suppose यहाँ 40 बच्चे हैं, यहाँ 40 बच्चे पढ़ रहे हैं और उनमें से 10 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो कि बहुत ही गरीब घर से आते हैं, बहुत ही गरीब घर से, प्लस दे आर फेसिंग सोशल डिस्क्रिमिनेशन. एंड आफ्टर दैट 5 लड़कियां ऐसी हैं जिनको बहुत प्रॉब्लम्स फेस करनी पड़ती हैं. देन आफ्टर दैट दे आर ऑल्सो 2 to 3 हैंडीकैप पर्सन. सो एक साइड 20-25 बच्चे ऐसे हैं जो दे आर वेरी इकोनॉमिकली वेल, सो दे हैव नो प्रॉब्लम. वो अपना सारा टाइम पढ़ाई पे लगाते हैं और वो दूसरे हैं वो नहीं लगा पाते. सो अगर हम पर एग्ज़ाम तो उनका एक ही होगा. सो आई सेट अप एग्जाम्पल, आई एम गिविंग दैम एग्ज़ाम ऑफ इक्वल मार्क 80 मार्क्स सपोज. सो हाउ कैन मैं कैसे सोच सकता हूँ कि वो सारे एक ही मार्क्स लेके आएँ और मैं उनको बोलूँ कि आप ये बहुत, हमें पता ही है कि जो जिसके पास पैसे नहीं है, जो इतनी प्रॉब्लम से पहले ही वो फेस कर रहा है, वो उतने मार्क्स कैसे ले आए जो पहले जो 20-25 बच्चे हैं जो बिल्कुल इकोनॉमिकली वेल हैं। सो इन दिस वे वी कैन से जस्टिफाइड रिजर्वेशन। अगर उन बच्चों के कम मार्क्स भी आ रहे हैं देन दे आर इक्वल, सो उनको कम मार्क्स में भी रिजर्वेशन पॉलिसी का लाभ देना ही पड़ेगा। सो दिस इज ऑल रिजर्वेशन एंड दिस इज द अफर्मेटिव एक्शन ऑफ सेंट्रल गवर्नमेंट विच इज जस्टिफाइड। एंड as I already I have already told you that fundamental rights are not absolute, they are subjected to some limitation. So this is subjected to limitation, that there is a reservation policy in which government helps certain section of Indian society.